Hello, and welcome to the Southwest Minnesota State Exercise Science Community Fitness Programming. I'm Dr. Chris Cleveland. I'm the faculty member that teaches primarily the courses where you will be working with the student trainers. This video is an orientation into how you start the program, how the fitness assessment works, and also where you will be doing your training 2 times per week. We're also going to send you an invitation to come on campus if you're not familiar with campus, to make sure that you feel comfortable with the program, comfortable where all the places on campus are located, if you're not familiar with campus. But this video will also help to give you a good orientation. Maybe you've been in the program already, but it's just a good review. So you're going to start by coming to the Physical Education Building, to the Wellness and Human Performance Center office. This is PE 217. You're going to come on in to the Wellness and Human Performance Center office. Someone may be here sitting at the desk to greet you. If not, the students will be waiting for you here. If not, they're hustling over from class, so they may be on their way. You can go ahead and have a seat here in our waiting room. We have storage in the back for your personal belongings, your duffel bags, things like that. If you need a place to change to your exercise clothing, we have a locker room directly downstairs that you can use, or you can use one of our private assessment rooms. So when you show up, you will have completed all of the paperwork that we asked you, including your medical history, your liability waiver, the PAR-Q Plus, all those things that the student will have looked at so that they get a really good sense of your health history, your physical history, your fitness levels, your goals, all those good things that they need to know, so they can do a really good job. They'll meet you here. They will greet you. So we practice everything from the beginning. So a proper greeting with a handshake and an introduction, and then an explanation of briefly what a fitness assessment is. And then they will ask you to come to one of the private assessment rooms. So we will go there next. So again, we're in PE 217. We're just coming down the hall here. Down the hall, we have 2 private assessment rooms where you will come with your student to do your basic data assessment. So what the basic data is they're going to invite you to have a seat, and they're going to go through some of those forms so they get to know you a little bit better, making sure that we complete what's called an informed consent process. So what informed consent is that we, with this video, and them as the students, are informing you of everything that's going to happen, and you are consenting to the process. So that's what we mean by informed consent. And then you sign the liability waiver that you've had everything explained to you. You have full control if there's something you don't feel comfortable doing, or you need more clarification. That's part of this whole process. So they will sit here with you, again, go through all that, and then they'll do what's called your basic data. So that is heart rate, respirations, blood pressure, and skin folds. What skin folds do is measure body fat composition. So we will take a weight, but we really focus on body fat composition versus just what the scale says. So what body fat composition is a percentage of your body that is fat. We may, with training, not lose a pound, but we may convert the weight on the scale to muscle mass and decrease our body fat composition. That's great for function, overall health, sport performance, whatever it is that your goals are. So they learn how to do these skin folds. This is probably the hardest part. So what skin folds are is they use these calipers, and they're measuring 7 sites on your body. They take a measurement, put it in a calculator, and that determines your body fat composition. So where those 7 sites are your chest. They do it on the right side. Also, they learn how to do it over the skin. But if you're not comfortable, you can tell them that. They can do it over the clothing. It's more accurate if they do it on skin, but it's totally to your comfort level. They may ask you to slip your arm out of the sleeve of your shirt so they can actually do the skin folds. Again, that's up to you. So it's chest, abdominal across from your belly button, your thigh, mid-thigh. These are a little bit uncomfortable, just so you know. Then they're going to do your tricep, the back of your shoulder blade, your what's called mid-axillary underneath the armpit. And then they're going to do one right here above your hip. They take those 7 sites, they're going to do it twice. Again, they put it in a calculator and determine your body fat percentage. just to be aware, we sanitize and clean everything in between each client. They won't do it because they want to keep working with you, but one of us staff will get that done. So here's just a picture depicting where those skin folds are. So I just wanted to make sure that you feel very comfortable with where those skin folds are. I will also link you a video if you're interested. Just let us know. Okay, so after they do this basic assessment, then they're going to take you to our exercise science lab for the rest of the testing. All right, we've just come around the corner from where we were at. That was PE 217. Now we're coming into PE 211. This is our exercise science lab. So you'll know you're in the right spot. You see the big brown wall that says exercise science. Your students will invite you in to the exercise science lab. So follow me. And then here's where they're going to be collecting some more data. They'll take you over there. They'll do your height. They will do your weight on what's called a bioelectric impedance device. That's a fancy term for using bioelectric impedance to get your body fat percentage. It does get your weight, but it also does water weight, muscle mass, bone density. It has a lot of nice calculations that they can use. That's good for your baseline data. And then they compare that body fat percentage on the scale to how they did it with the skin folds to see how they did. And they've practiced it a lot their junior year. Now, when they're working with you, they're basically seniors. So they're really pretty accurate at it. After they collect the rest of that basic data, then they're going to do muscle endurance testing, which is a push-up and a plank. They're going to do, get over here, they're going to do a couple flexibility assessments. One is the sit and reach. They're going to do a shoulder flexibility where they're going to measure how flexible your shoulders and your upper back are. They're also going to do a balance assessment called the Y balance, which that's right here. What you're doing is, and I'll explain it to you, you do it barefoot. And again, we clean everything before everybody uses it. You're going to stand and you will be pushing these indicator boxes in different directions. What they do is they take many measurements, put it in a calculator, and get a composite number so they can tell where you're at with your baseline of balance. They also compare your left and your right. Balance is very important for function, sport performance, detecting risk of falls. Balance is just a really important part of our fitness assessment. I can also send you a link to that so you're aware of what that test looks like. And then they're going to measure your cardiovascular endurance by doing a 1 mile walk test. The 1 mile walk test happens up here in the physical education building. They'll monitor your heart rate, and we will provide you with a polar heart rate monitor. If you have your own heart rate monitor, like an iWatch or whatever that may be, you can wear it, but we ask for consistency that everyone wears our polar heart rate monitors. Then you can see how your device compares to that, but everyone uses the same polar heart rate monitors. After you walk the mile, they'll take your heart rate and your time and they put it in a calculator and determine what's called your VO2 max, which is your level of your body's ability to utilize oxygen. It's a measure of cardiorespiratory endurance. So they take all that information. Oh, I have to back up. When you do the 1 mile walk, it's walking as fast as possible without running. You can't listen to music and you need to do it alone because we don't want music or another person or a conversation to pace your rate of walking. So they'll take all that information and get a baseline. That's where they then can write an exercise prescription. The first time they work with you, I write them. They'll get more information about how you move, how you squat, how you deadlift, how you push and pull, how you move weights, and then they'll start tailoring it toward you personally based on that fitness assessment. So they'll do this at the beginning and then at the end, and then they compare that data and see how you did, how they did, writing you an appropriate prescription throughout the course of the semester. All right, I'm going to take you to our fitness center where we actually do the training. All right, welcome to the SMSU Exercise Science Fitness Center. This is where you're going to do your training with your students. We have two different sides to our fitness center. This used to be racquetball courts, so that's why there's a wall. But this is basically the strength and weightlifting side. And then on the other side, you will find our mobility, core strength, and cardiovascular section. So this is where you're going to actually meet your student for your training. We will have you sign in. We have a QR code. That's where I keep track of how many visits are in the facility. And the students can help you with that. And then they also have to document on everything they do. That's part of our industry is documentation. So we do everything electronically. So if you see them working with their computer, if you think about like when you go to a healthcare provider, everybody's documenting. I have to approve their programs, their exercise prescriptions prior to them working with you. So it's really important that they make their plan and then they document actually what they did and what you performed during your exercise session. Again, you're going to meet with them twice a week over the course of the semester. If you can't make it, or if they can't make it, you two will be communicating. It's part of the learning process is how to work with human beings and try to help them be accountable, but understand that they have lives. You have lives, they have lives, and how do we help people to be as accountable as possible? They are not required to make up the session if you happen to miss a session unless it works for them. And they've all been really good about trying to be accommodating, but just understand that these students are busy. Most of them have at least one job, if not two. Some of them are student athletes. They're involved in a lot of other things, which we want them to be active and engaged in the campus and the community. So just realize that their schedules are pretty precious. Their time is precious, as is yours, but you will communicate with them. And like I said, that's part of the learning process so that they can learn how to communicate with their clients, which is you. If you have any questions, please reach out. Again, I'm Dr. Chris Cleveland. My email, kris.cleveland@smsu.edu. And we hope this orientation video helped you feel comfortable, that now you feel informed about the process. When you consent to the process, again, you need to be informed, and don't hesitate to reach out with any questions at any time. Questions, comments, concerns. I will take them all. It's all valuable information for our students to do a great job. Thank you.